the summer of 2016, I moved to this neighborhood, and obviously every kid hates having to move. But for some reason, I didn't really feel too affected by that because I gained friends somewhat fast. But I'm not trying to go too far back. From, I'll say, the beginning of freshman year, I started to question my future more and more, seeing as how these were the final few years before I'd be thrown into the world of adulthood. And I was pretty much already out of hobbies. I had a stupid car phase and whatever my boxing phase was. I sucked at art, so that was a no-go. So lastly, my mind drew to one last place: music. It was quite literally a stab in the dark, or I don't know, however you say it. It was an old guitar my dad bought when he was in college, and for the next few months, that was all I did, until I eventually bought my first real guitar. Which brings us to the meat and potatoes of all of this. I met my friend Pasco. We knew each other for a while, but we got closer because we both rode the bus together. And we both liked a lot of the same things. I told him about my passion for wanting to learn music, so he let me try out and sit in for the band. Now, the thing was, they weren't really a serious band. Matter of fact, they hadn't had a practice in probably 4, 5, maybe even a year. But regardless, I knew I had to be a part of it no matter what, because they were still a band.
How do you know Karif?
We had ASL together, and then, became friends, like talking about cars and stuff. But I guess more recently we've been playing guitar together. I think Karif is one of the most persistent people. If Karif wants something, Karif will make sure that he gets it. And I think that's such an admirable trait, like, especially being a musician, that'll be something that will really help him in the future.
Do you think growing up tears friendships apart?
I don't necessarily think so. I think I've had friends that I've grown closer to as we grow up, I guess one thing is you start to spend less time, but I think like less time together. But I think like if you can push past that and kind of get through that phase where you might not be spending every day together, it'll make a longer lasting friendship that ultimately ends up being better.
I was very lucky to have really good friends by my side throughout middle and high school. We've all known each other since about probably 3rd grade, and for about 8 or 9 years, we all stuck with each other, talking almost daily, mostly because there weren't other kids who understood our sense of humor. We weren't messed up or edgy or nothing stupid like that, but we just found different things funnier. These pictures right here are probably my most favorite pictures that I own. These guys really were here for everything. I'm honestly so thankful for these guys every single day, and I have no idea what I would be doing without them. I remember there was a certain time in my life where I did try to branch off from them, and I ended up hanging out with some really bad people who probably left a really bad stain on my reputation that I hope hasn't carried on to this day. But I bring up my friends because they are people I really care about, and more importantly, they had some really cool passions and hobbies. Some of them made comics, some animations, and some wrote books. They did everything for fun, but for me, I wanted to pursue something as a career. This music thing was so important because my whole life, I refused to just end up in a desk job. So I had to make sure that this music thing would take off and would make an impact. But I would soon come to realize that the others didn't share that same passion. All of them began getting jobs, and on top of that, they were already involved in multiple after-school events, leaving our consistency as a band to plummet. And the thing was, we had a good few months of solid practices and some pretty good songs. Obviously, I was furious, that, oh man, I loved this band project, but what was I gonna do? Tell them to not get jobs and quit their lives just for me? So I was fed up, and I decided I had to leave the band, but not leave music. So I tried my hand at some solo songwriting and trying to become a solo artist.
Take me home tonight. This ain't where I belong. You know where I go. You know where I belong. This ain't where I go. Only I will know.
But then I realized that, it was cool and all, being a one-man show, but it kind of sucked not having friends with you. And again, nothing wrong with being a solo artist. I just found it to be way more fun having a band. But obviously, I couldn't go back to those guys. So my adventure set off, and I had to start a band. Step one, and probably the most important thing of ever creating a band, but like it or not, is a drummer. A drummer is the heart and soul of any band ever. Luckily, there's this after-school program called Jazz Band. Think of like the movie Whiplash, except in a high school, so nothing like Whiplash. There I met this guy called Justin, who's absolutely crazy on drums. And funny enough, about a month before I left, a good buddy of mine, Jacob, joined in on bass.
Well, I knew Kareef like back in 8th grade. We met in health class, and I think that's when our friendship really started. After a few group projects, we really got to know each other, and then we sort of became best friends.
What else could I be? All apologies.
Kareef? Busy man. Very busy man. He works on a lot of stuff. He works on his music. He works on like videos. He works with his friends. A lot of stuff. I'd say he's really cool for that. I would say that if you were to get to know him or like want to know him, you should really like get to like his funny spot. Like his humor. His humor is really funny, and if you get close to him, you might hear some good jokes from him, and you might hear a lot about his music career. So, his music career, it's going somewhere. I think it will go somewhere because currently he left another band and made another one, and he's planning on releasing like a whole album worth of songs. He works on songs like every day, and he works on a lot of things. Like I said, like I said, when I say he's busy, I mean he's busy practicing and making songs every day. So I think the experiences you've been through with each other, for example, 8th grade, we've been through experiences. I wasn't there for half of 8th grade, so he didn't know where I was. And I think after I came back, our bond really came together again because, we got to talk to each other, talk about catching up and stuff like that. And as soon as we did that, we found a lot of things that we were relatable to, and I think the one thing that makes a friendship strong is like knowing each other very well, and knowing connections between each other and all that good stuff.
I think I missed a call from my mom. But again, it was only for a month, and I already was having thoughts of leaving the band. And after I'd left, he kind of also left. So finally, I got my band together, and my God, was I ecstatic, scared, nervous, proud. whatever else. But then I had to realize songwriting. That was gonna be something. See, in my old band, being a rhythm guitarist, you don't really have too much charge on songwriting. So I had to try my best and learn how to write songs on my own. I think I can make that a new song, maybe. Could be a new song. I like to write short songs that are simple but have a strong impact. This music thing is so important to me, and all I want is to make some kind of change, really. Actually, not even that. I just want something to be remembered by. Oh, by the way, completely forgot to mention, my band's name is called Red Tape. I came up with it because I thought of what are all my favorite bands. Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Rolling Stones. And they all associate with the color red. And tape, like cassette tape, because we made music. But in actuality, I eventually told the band that I came up with that name because I had a red guitar. Yep.
I look at this tree alive every time I come to this park because every single time I see it, it always looks the same. No matter what season it is, or what time of day it is, it always looks the same. It never changed, no matter what was around it, or what was happening in the world. And I kind of wish I was just like this tree, where nothing ever really affected it. It stood tall and strong. I sound like a loser right now, but I don't know. Maybe we can learn something from this tree that's, don't change and just, keep standing with your feet down and stand strong. I don't know, something cool. What would Steve Harvey say?
Be a kid again.
That's it. I'll do a little bit more.
Yeah, I like that one.